So when it comes to fat loss, I feel like one of the biggest hurdles I hear from women is that they don't know what to eat. So in this video, I'm gonna talk all about how to meal plan for fat loss with some really simple tips and tricks and hacks that will make this whole process easier for you. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Tina Haupert. I'm the woman behind Carrots and Cake. I'm an FDN practitioner and I'm really excited to dive into meal planning today because it's one of my favorite topics. I enjoy meal prep for the most part, meal planning and meal prep, and I feel like it is a roadblock for a lot of women because it can seem overwhelming. I feel like what we see on Instagram, in YouTube, and Facebook, a lot of times people think meal planning and meal prep is this big complicated thing where you need to spend 6 hours on a Sunday prepping everything you're going to eat for the week, putting it in nice little glass containers, and being set up for the week. And if that works for you, great. I am not raining on your parade, but I think for a lot of us busy women who have kids, working full-time jobs, trying to do all the things, maybe you're someone who just doesn't like leftovers. I mean, leftovers in the fridge for like 5 days, they're like soggy and gross and not appetizing. There's a better way to do it, and I'm excited to share those details today. Okay, so how to meal plan for fat loss. I'm gonna make this super simple for you. I basically have 3 steps, and this is what I do personally and has worked for me for many years. Number 1, what is your plan for protein? We all know we need to eat more protein. Protein is really at the heart of fat loss a lot of times. It is important as far as maintaining muscle during a fat loss phase because, when you're trying to lose weight, you are losing, yes, body fat, but you are also losing muscle. And of course, we don't want to lose muscle. We want to maintain that muscle as long as possible because, of course, that's going to give us that nice, toned, strong look that we all want. And, as we age, especially women in perimenopause, we want to maintain that muscle so we are functionally fit, we are strong, we are capable, and we're going into our later years in life being that strong, capable woman. So protein is super duper important. So I always ask my clients, I always think to myself, what's the plan for protein this week? So the first I would say is pick 5 or 6 or more different sources of protein to purchase at the grocery store. I feel like getting those things into your house is more than half the battle. And I'm a big fan of, taking shortcuts when you need it, using convenience foods where you can. I don't think you have to prep and cook everything from scratch all the time. Of course, that's nice and wonderful, but a lot of us are busy. So some of my favorite quickie protein options are pre-cooked chicken, any sort of ground meat. So ground beef, ground sirloin, ground chicken, ground turkey, those cook up really fast. I'm also a fan of eggs. Eggs cook up really fast. You can have eggs for breakfast, lunch, dinner. You can hard boil eggs. You can make an egg bake. There's so many ways to use eggs. They're definitely my favorite. I'm also a big fan of pre-cooked pulled pork. I don't know if you've seen that in your grocery store, but it's delicious. You can cook that up really fast. Smoked salmon, you don't have to cook it. You don't have to do anything. Canned tuna, canned salmon, high protein pasta. That's another good one. But anything to make your life easier. I'm also a fan of ButcherBox. I mean, this is kind of a plug. I'll leave the link below if you want to try out ButcherBox, but ButcherBox just makes really amazing, high quality meat. I mean, they source the meat from different facilities that are very high quality, organic, grass-fed, all the good things, no hormones, any of that. But getting that shipped to our house every single month and just having it in the freezer, again, is like half the battle. It's in my house. All I need to do is defrost it and cook it. It makes life so much easier. Like I said, I'll include that link if you want to try it out. It is wonderful and amazing and is so convenient. Another favorite protein hack that I have for you is buying a bunch of chicken breasts or chicken thighs and throwing them in the Instant Pot or crock pot and making a huge batch of shredded chicken for the week. And this is definitely a go-to strategy because shredded chicken is so versatile. I mean, you could just eat it alongside some veggies and some rice or something like that. That's cool. You can put it in sandwiches, you can put it in wraps, you can put it on a salad, you can throw it in a soup, you can make some sort of rice bowl with it. I mean, you can snack on it, you can put it on a rice cake, you can eat it with crackers. I mean, endless options with shredded chicken. And yeah, shredded chicken, a little bit boring. I get that. So I'm a big fan of adding different flavors and spices and sauces and things like that. So mixing it with barbecue sauce, buffalo sauce, hummus, lemon hummus, different flavors of hummus, salsa, pesto, ranch dressing. I mean, there's a bazillion ideas and anything goes with shredded chicken. I feel like it works with any sort of spice or herb or flavoring or something like that. So feel free to get creative with it, but we just make a big batch, put it in a container in the fridge, and it's our go-to for so many meals as far as that protein source goes. So just to sum up here, when you are making your grocery list for the week, what is the plan for protein? And come up with at least 5 or 6 different sources that you are going to purchase and have in your house. And of course, the pro tip is having some really convenient sources of protein in your cabinets, in your freezer that you can go to again and again. Like I was saying, some of my favorites are having that frozen meat in the freezer so I can just grab it, defrost it, cook it up. That is super duper easy. But then also relying on some of those pantry staples. So the high protein pastas, canned tuna, canned salmon, things like that that you can cook up real fast. The second tip I have for you is nailing breakfast. And what I mean by this is, yes, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I also feel like it's the meal that a lot of people skip or they kind of half-ass. They don't always get enough protein in that first meal of the day. And when you're not getting enough protein in that first meal of the day, it's almost like you're playing catch up the rest of the day to try to get enough protein in. So I'm a big fan of making sure you have some sort of plan for breakfast. And of course, like having that first meal, having it be healthy, having it be balanced, really sets the tone for the day. And I also think it helps you better manage your blood sugar, your cravings, your energy levels. Like you shouldn't be eating breakfast and being hungry, 90 minutes to 2 hours later, or craving sugar all morning, or wanting a second breakfast. Like you should eat breakfast and then not be hungry till lunch. So I think really prioritizing breakfast and having a plan for that is super duper important. What I mean by nailing breakfast, and this is a strategy that I personally use and recommend to a lot of our clients, is pick just 2 breakfasts for the week and make sure they are heavy on the protein, making sure you're getting at least 30 grams of protein in that meal, and just pick 2 things. Like you could do a savory breakfast that's like eggs and sausage or an egg bake or something like that. And then the other day, maybe do something that's a little bit more on the sweet side. So like overnight oats or a yogurt parfait or something that has protein in it, but might have some fruit, might have some oats or something like that. So you have some variety for the week, but not so much variety that you are overwhelmed and don't know what the heck to eat in the morning. And I'm a big fan of prepping those things. I mean, overnight oats, you could prep, 4 different things or 4 containers of overnight oats for the week and be done with it. You're good to go for the week. Eggs cook up really fast. You could do an egg bake and just slice a piece every morning. There's so many ways to make breakfast easy. So pick 2 that you want to have for the week, alternate them, and then the next week pick 2 different breakfasts so you're not eating the exact same thing and super duper bored. But remember to prioritize that protein. It will change your life. It will change your morning, and just getting that protein in, starting your day off on the right foot, I think can just make such a difference for losing weight, making sure you're in that calorie deficit, and, just feeling your best through a fat loss phase. Okay, so the third and final tip I have for you is basically breaking down your meals into protein, fiber, and flavor. And this is how I build all my meals and kind of how I shop for ingredients too. But I feel like once you start doing this, you'll be like, this is easy. This is easy to plan a well-balanced macro meal. So let me get into the details of like how I do this and what the heck I'm talking about. So you got your breakfast plan for the week, those 2 meals. And then when you're thinking of like how to plan that breakfast, how to plan your lunch and your dinners, I just want you to think protein, fiber, flavor. So nailing down what your protein source is, aiming for at least 30 grams per meal, adding some sort of fiber in the form of vegetables or maybe some complex carbohydrates or some grains or something like that. Figure out where the fiber is coming from. Because when you're consuming enough fiber, you're most likely consuming good, healthy, whole food sources like fruits and veggies and grains and things like that. And then flavor, adding some sort of spice or herb or sauce or things like that. So when I was talking about the shredded chicken, all of those different ideas can go into your meal. And I'm a big fan of this. And this is kind of like my default when I'm like, I don't know what to eat. And a lot of times my meals are like 2 ingredients, 3 ingredients, maybe 4 ingredients. I definitely don't make it complicated. And I think the more you can like dumb down this meal planning process, the easier it's going to be, and you're going to be more consistent with it too, because it's not super complicated. I don't think you need to make 7 different lunches, 7 different dinners, 7 different breakfasts. I think the more simple you can make it, the better. And then of course, from week to week, you can change your proteins, you can change your fiber sources, you can change your sauces and flavors and things like that. But from week to week, make it as simple as possible for you. You really want to automate your eating. Okay, so let me share some examples of these protein, fiber, and flavor meals that I eat on the regular again and again. And again, this is my go-to, especially during a fat loss phase, because it's just about eating, being in that calorie deficit, and just making it as easy as possible. Like, you don't have to make it more complicated than it needs to be. Okay, so some of my favorite meals are ground beef or ground chicken, ground turkey, ground bison, ground sirloin, some sort of ground meat. Like I said, cooks up really fast, mixed with beans or lentils and buffalo sauce. You could do barbecue sauce, whatever you want in there, but that's a quick and easy meal. Protein, fiber, flavor. I also like shredded chicken with some like lemon hummus in there, maybe a little bit of chopped broccoli, maybe some roasted cauliflower, maybe a little feta in there. I like canned tuna mixed with either mayo or avocado, if we have avocado in the house, some sort of chopped veggies like bell peppers or onion or something like that, maybe a little bit of relish. Comes together in no time at all. I'm a big fan of protein pasta, and I'll mix that with some marinara, maybe some Parmesan cheese, some broccoli, some peas, something like that. Ground beef with a little bit of pesto. Again, mixing it with some protein pasta or a bunch of veggies in there, like peppers, onions, broccoli, things like that. I could go on and on about all the throw together meals that I make, and shout out for a couple blog posts that are over on Carrots and Cake that literally have 60 something ideas for throw together meals, because over here in Carrots and Cake world, I love food. I love eating. I don't always love cooking and spending all the time. Sometimes I just want to eat. So I'm a big fan of these throw together meals. And like I was saying, the more you can do to automate this process, the easier it is going to be for you to be consistent with your eating habits. So check out those throw together meals. And I also wanted to give a shout out for my macro diet cookbook. And my cookbook, it's available on Amazon. I'll leave a link for you, but all of the recipes in there are super duper easy. They're very throw together style. The ingredients are things that you probably have in your house or that you consume on the regular. You're not going to be running to the grocery store for 8 million ingredients, weird ingredients that you'll never use again. And most of the recipes are honestly 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 ingredients. Super duper simple. But if you're somebody who is always thinking like, what the heck am I going to eat? How am I going to make it simple? Definitely check out both of these resources. So the throw together meals on Carrots and Cake, I'll leave those links, and the Carrots and Cake cookbook. Definitely check that out. So if you enjoyed this video and you found the information helpful, please take a second to like it and subscribe so you don't miss future content.